Very, very funny guy. Coming to stage right now, Jonathan Gregory.
Oh, what's going on, Dave and Busters? Make some noise! Guys, I had the weirdest thing happen to me yesterday. Swear to God, this is 100% true. I live in Miami. I'm going to a gig downtown. I park my car. A homeless man approaches me. And he's giving me his sales pitch, you know, asking me for $1. And then he looks up at me and he stops and he just freezes. And he goes, "Now, I'm not just saying this because I've been to prison. But with lips like those, you either got 2 girlfriends or 3 boyfriends." So I gave him $1. Guys, my name's John Gregory, and I'm pretty tall, like some of you were whispering. And living in Miami and being tall, I don't get asked just, "How tall are you?" What I usually get asked is, "Oye, gigante, ¿cuánto ¿Cómo se dice? How much tall did you have?" And whenever I tell them that I'm 6'8", hold your applause. They, 6'8"? LeBron James. So if you guys couldn't tell by now, I'm also white. Being white and living in Miami is funny because most of my friends are Cuban, which, you know, I'm not proud of. My Cuban friends, they have like a hard time wrapping their heads around the idea that there are white people that chose to stay in Miami, you know? They're like, "So what, bro? You're like descended from the people who named this place?" I'm like, "No, I'm descended from the people who killed the people who named this place." It's a Florida history joke, folks. My little cousin Billy turned 10 recently, and 10 was a big deal for him. He said, "John, get me a cool present. I don't want anything kiddie. Get me something grown-up." Challenge accepted. So I went to the most grown-up place I could think of, Costco, and I got him one of those giant, humongous pallets of 5-Hour Energy with a note that says, "Billy, if you drink a 5-Hour Energy, every 4.5 hours you will live forever." So yesterday I'm visiting Billy in the hospital, and you should have seen him. He has the cutest permanent twitch now. Doctors say he has Four Loko syndrome. Kidding, you guys, kidding. 2013 was a really good year for me. I actually lost 60 pounds. Thank you. I am better than you. I was doing the no-carb diet. I've been experimenting with diets, and right now I'm going vegan for my girlfriend, obviously. And like, guys, going vegan is like the hardest thing I've ever done in my entire life. On St. Patrick's Day, I just said, fuck it. I got hammered, and I sat down at my kitchen counter and just ate an entire litter of kittens. I just didn't. Guys, I'm kidding. I don't have a girlfriend. Come on. I work in kind of a very Hispanic area of Miami. It's right next to Little Havana. It's the kind of place that, like, when I go to the Walgreens across the street, I get this like eerie feeling that, like, ugh, Pitbull used to sell weed in this parking lot. But I got in the elevator. This was on Thursday. I got in the elevator in the morning, and a coworker gets in with me, and her name's Giselle. I don't know how she spells it, but she's Cuban, so I know there's an apostrophe somewhere in there. But she's looking at me and she goes, "John, do you ever get tired of being so tall?" And as some of you have already guessed, Giselle is very short and stupid. Well, I thought about it, you know, like, have I ever wished I was this tall? No, I've wished that urinal dividers went up higher. seen a lot of sidewaying in my time, folks. It's like my Vietnam, you know? Well, and she goes, and so I told her, I'm like, no, I'm glad I'm this tall. I like being tall. And she goes, wow, I'm so jealous. Like, do you think you could give me a couple inches? And I'm like, right here? I'm quick enough. I'm quick enough. You guys know those red light cameras? You run a red light, flashes, and a week later you get a ticket from RoboCop. I hate those things. They're such bullshit, you know? And they pretend like that makes traffic better, ticketing people who run red lights. It's the people who just sit there at green lights that make traffic worse, right? Yeah. So what I'm proposing is we get rid of all the red light traffic cameras and instead we install green light rocket launchers. Now some of you are looking at me like, John, I like where your head's at, but wouldn't blowing people up at a green light actually make traffic worse? And it would at first, but by my calculations, we can make the streets of South Florida abuela free by 2015. Oh, that one makes me laugh, you guys. My grandma was in town recently. She lives in West Palm Beach, and she came down to Miami for a little R&R, little religion and racism. She made me go to Mass with her, which, you know, I really don't go to Mass anymore. For one thing, it's too early. When my alarm goes off for 9 o'clock Mass, I'm like, I'll just go to 11 o'clock Mass. When it goes off for 11 o'clock Mass, I'm like, I'll just go to hell. But while my grandma was in town, I let her sleep in my bed. I live at home with my dad, in case you guys respected me. I made sure everything was perfect for her. Perfect. Like the air conditioning. I even brought her breakfast in bed the next day. Like, Grandma, look, sunny side up eggs, extra crispy bacon, and a copy of your will. You'll notice I've highlighted some things I'd like to discuss with you. I had to take my grandma back up to West Palm Beach, right? And I'm a huge Miami Heat fan, huge Heat fan. So I got posters all over my room. I got Dwayne Wade blocking a dunk here, LeBron James just jamming it. I got Mike Miller in a wheelchair. I'm driving my grandma back up to West Palm Beach, and I go, Grandma, how did you sleep in my room? And she goes, oh, Johnny, your bed was so comfortable. But I'll be honest, I hardly got a wink of sleep with those muscular jigaboos. I'm like, whoa, Grandma, whoa, 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 whoa. The J word doesn't fly like it did in the 30s. And she's like, well, I'm sorry, Johnny. I mean, I didn't mean to be offensive. I voted for Obama. I think that makes it worse, Grandma. But she goes, well, I'm sorry, Johnny. Well, what should I call them? And I'm like, them? They're professional athletes. That's totally fine for this situation. Professional athletes. So I'm taking her down this shortcut that I know, right? And she stops me. She goes, Johnny, no, don't go down there. That area is not safe. I go, not safe? Grandma, what do you mean? Johnny, that area is very athletic. But not very professional. That's how I like my racism. Classy, you know? Top shelf. There have been a lot of abortion jokes tonight, haven't there? Yeah. Here's mine. Does anyone grow up wanting to be an abortion doctor? Like, is that anyone's childhood dream? Like, oh, Timmy, you're pre-med. What field of medicine are you going into? I've narrowed it down to 2. Well, you know, cancer runs in the family, so I feel like if I became like a radiologist or an oncologist, or if I did clinical research, patient care, any way I could fight cancer, I feel like that would be a lifetime well spent. Timmy, that's incredible. That's so noble. But what's the other field of medicine you're considering? Well, you you know how I just fucking hate babies. My name's John Gregory, you guys.
John Gregory! He's here to make Adam not feel lonely, by the way. You know who Adam is.